How you guys doing? This is very important in reference to the history. You know, there's documents at the treasury in reference to lawsuit monies and monies that I was supposed to have received when government people had threatened me or government people have attempted to murder me. And, you know, like, there's a time frame of when they were supposed to deliver monies. And, you know, in reference to, that needs to be acknowledged in the media too. And in reference to, environments or neighborhoods or locations, in reference to dirty government trying to play tricks in neighborhoods where they've tried to frame me or they tried to slander my character or they tried to play suspicious lies or whatever. There's guidelines. That's why I'm supposed to be at my mother and father's mansions, because none of these dirty cops or dirty government people, they can't afford to live in those neighborhoods. You know that, right? And basic information, most of them, and plus there's guidelines and laws and restrictions. But, in reference to government men trying to rape me, government men trying to steal my sperm, government men trying to steal my penis, government men trying to steal my identity, government men slandering my character, government people damaging my face and teeth with satellites and their handheld lasers when they have grabbed me on jobs and grabbed me out in public and they had burnt my teeth. Ask those people if they're dentists, whoever they are. My teeth are my real teeth. They've been my real teeth my whole life. This man tried to mutilate and damaged my face and teeth, trying to call me some profile of some other person of a different race and a different ethnicity. And obviously the person doesn't look like me. That's why the person was trying to damage my face and teeth all the time. And that is a crime, and that is physical assault, and that is stalker crimes against government, brutality crimes against government, and hate crimes and slander and racism against government and whoever they are. Plus a lot of other categories of violations of these government people. Plus, in reference to the government trying to belittle my identity and the government intentionally trying to call me somebody else's child is an insult. And it is a violation of financial protection laws, meaning them trying to call me a lower class financial class than the class that I was born into, and the fact of my parents being super rich, and the family history, and land ownership, and companies and businesses. So, there's lawsuits there in reference to the government violating my family history. And the person that's been playing Photoshop on the phone or with photos and pictures and these people slandering my character, those people need to go into court and get prosecuted. But, in reference to the government, there is guidelines in reference to monies that they were supposed to send to me in this type of situation. Such as, I wasn't supposed to have to work at certain types of jobs or certain types of things. My parents gave me the estates and trust funds, and these government people have been blocking me from my trust funds. The government's been blocking me from the insurance money of my parents. The government's been blocking me from benefits that I was supposed to have received. The government has been stealing, Christmas gifts that I was supposed to have received from the White House, too. I'm supposed to be on the Christmas list of the White House. And they've been stealing them ever since. They've been stealing them for 30 years, 27 plus years, Plus, in reference to when my father got murdered and the government was sued in court and they were obligated to send me a certain amount of money every Christmas and on my father's birthday, even though my father is frozen. Even if my father comes back to life, the government is still obligated to pay me that money because my father has not been around all these years. So, it's a long story in reference to the crimes and the abuses and the violent crimes of government when they had murdered my father and when they had murdered my mother. There's guidelines and laws and benefits and finances that I was supposed to have received, even when my parents come back to life, because they're both frozen, so they're going to probably come back to life, hopefully. So in reference to the government trying to hold me hostage under a poorer name than my birth name, is their intentions of slandering my character, their intentions of trying to dominate who I am, and their intentions of trying to steal from me. And I never changed my birth name. These people kidnapped me and been holding me hostage all these years. I'd been kidnapped and rescued several times during the 80s. And, I'd had injuries from these people, and some of these people are the same people from back then, I guess. And they should have been prosecuted back then. So they need to see where the obstructions of law of these people not getting prosecuted back in the 80s, and why weren't they prosecuted. They can't get pardons from the president either. You understand that, right? My parents was richer than the president. See, there's guidelines in reference to politicians that cannot pardon people for certain types of activities or certain types of crimes, such as politicians or government agents trying to hurt me, or they're trying to steal my land, or they're blocking me from my mother and father's mansions, or they tried to forge documents, or they tried to steal things. Oh, no, I haven't received anything from workman's comp yet, And, I've been x-rayed before, and I'm really not supposed to get x-rays. I've been x-rayed way too many times, and I guess the radiologists of the company and some medical people had told these government people, or they've told people, that I'm not supposed to be getting x-rays. So in reference to me having an injury, if I fell down or got knocked down or tripped over something, the injuries are documented, what's the situation of things, and, I'm supposed to receive compensation. Plus, I had lifetime benefits when I was a little boy, because I got injured and I was in a coma, and I wouldn't have survived if it wouldn't have been for my father doing the surgeries on me and fixing what they had damaged, So, I was in a coma for a while. And some people have that on record, so that needs to be advertised in the media too. So, in reference to, it was no help from the government or anything like that. My father had private physicians. My mother had we had private physicians, and couldn't go to no government hospital, government places, not allowed to. They'd try to murder me in a hospital, or that they injured me, or they'd try to steal diamonds from my body, or they'd try to steal blood or sperm, or they'd try to damage something, or they'd sexually assault me in one way or the other. So, it's pretty serious. They're choking me right now, so that's sexual assault. The satellite man thinks he's some choke artist, like he's the Boston Strangler or something. It's pretty serious, But the information of things, my arm and shoulders hurt, my wrist hurts, my hand hurts, the forearm hurts, my elbows hurt, the left side of my chest hurts from the fall, and that satellite man hitting me and beating up on me doesn't make it any better either. So, in reference to workman's comp, I'm not sure what you guys are doing, if you're working on it or what, but, there is lawsuits against the government and them trying to burn me or trying to tear tissue or whatever they're trying to do is physical assault and abuse, such as them trying to hurt my rotor cup on my shoulder. And, and somebody say, well, it takes like a month to get workman's comp. Well, I have to keep working because I couldn't survive that long without having an income. Even though I was supposed to have my trust funds, I was supposed to be at my mother and father's mansions. See, these people tried to play this switcheroo game. They kidnapped me from my mother and father's mansions and tried to call me the poor boy, and one of their government agents tried to steal my identity and tried to live my life. That government man has to get prosecuted. I'm not playing no tricks like that. And then somebody will try to say, they're still choking me. Somebody will try to say, well, some people didn't like you being born rich. Doesn't matter what you like or what you don't like. I'm the real child of my mother and father. My parents were super rich. I'm the owner of the estates. And that's the facts. Never signed, never gave, never sold, never, not never. And if any of the news networks tried to call or tried to send me letters or wanted me to be a newscaster, I haven't received any letters or any paychecks or anything. I haven't received anything from Court Television or CNN or anything. Or any of the other companies that had put me on the payroll or whichever. I haven't received anything. But, the situation is pretty serious. The satellite man's hurting my arm, and they're hurting me all the time. They're beating me up all the time. They were burning my teeth today at work. And so, I'm not sure how long it takes to get workman's comp, but, in reference to the government trying to injure me, the government trying to zap me and shit like that, it's lawsuits every day. And the fact that the first lawsuits I've not received, the first lawsuits in reference to when my parents got murdered, didn't receive the lawsuits in reference to getting kidnapped from my mother and father's mansions. There's lawsuits in reference to people kidnapping me. There's lawsuits in reference to people holding me hostage. There's lawsuits in reference to people trying to dictate my life, such as people blocking me from my mother and father's estates, and these people trying to play their domestication labor game in reference to government blocking me from my money. See, I'm supposed to be in movies and music and television and, in the media and Hello Wall Street. I'm supposed to be hanging out with some of my friends on Wall Street, or some celebrity friends or entertainers. Plus, I'm supposed to be traveling in between my mother and father's mansions, to each mansion and visiting them and staying at certain mansions for a certain period of time. My parents even had it on record that I was supposed to be at certain mansions a certain number of days or weeks or months out of the year. And these government people are blocking me from them too. So, in reference to them belittling who I am and their activity of slandering my character, if you're wondering, we're going to get another tube of Rembrandt toothpaste. They're messing with my mouth right now. And that satellite man communicates, sometimes calling himself the puppet master. We need to see that man's financial portfolio in the courtroom, and his status, and his race and religion in the courtroom. I'm not your puppet. I'm not your slave, government man. You don't have a right abusing me, making up lies for your illegal pervert spying and your activities. My mother even sued some of your people back in the 80s for spying on me. They spied on me in the shower and stuff like that. My mother had court cases against these people. But, in reference to the hostage situation, or people trying to steal my benefits, people trying to steal monies, and I don't know if any of the watch companies tried to send me anything in the postal mail, or tried to send me any letters or anything. I didn't receive anything. But, if anybody tried to send anything, I've not received anything. Whether somebody tried to send a Lamborghini or a Ferrari or Rolls Royce, I've not received any of the letters. Some things that my mother and father's companies might have bought from me, but I didn't receive nothing. So if you sent anything or delivered it anywhere, I never got a word of the information or a letter of it, so I don't know what happened to any of it. I'm still sitting here at this little house, and been working at a warehouse. But, Century 21, somebody said something about them. I haven't received any letters from Century 21. I guess my mother had an account over there for me, or my father did, or something. And I didn't receive nothing if you sent anything. And any of the realty offices, I haven't received any information at all. So if anybody's tried to send any information, I have not received anything. If any girls tried to send any love letters or crush letters or fan letters, these government people have been stealing them, so they need to get sued for that too. And in reference to celebrity females that are friends, or guy friends that are celebrities, haven't received any letters from anywhere. And hello, Jack Black and other celebrities and entertainers, male and female, and hello, Denzel Washington, hello, James Cameron, Scorsese, Spielberg, Lucas, and other celebrities and entertainers, and music, R&B, hip-hop, rock and roll, classic, movie genres, music genres, and hello, in reference to different newspapers and magazine publications and publications. They're messing with my mouth, the satellite man is. And so it's a lot of history of things, but they're still choking me now, and they're hurting my arm and wrist. Hear it cracking. And it hurts like that, you don't know. And they're hitting me in this side of my chest. The satellite man is on the left side too. I mean, I fell there, but the satellite man is then, like, here's the sternum bone, and this is the left side of my chest area. And the satellite man's been hitting me there, and they've been hitting me in the other arm too, like trying to make my hand numb or something. So, they've been doing this stuff, and it's abuse, and it's attempted murder, them hitting me in the chest, and like they were trying to cause some problem there, you know what I mean? And they're violating my CDL physical, my 2-year CDL physical. Even though they failed me at the CDL testing site, they need to subpoena all the audio tapes or from the phone company, I guess, whichever has the audio tapes. Because the phone company is possibly listening on the phone. And in reference to my CDL test, there needs to be a court case in reference to the audio, when I was, when they failed me on the truck driving in the school zone or something. But then we still kept going, and he told me to do an emergency stop, and did that, and then drove back, and everything was fine. And then got back to the school, and then he failed me he said, well, the school zone thing. And, I was probably driving, I'm not sure if it was Guy's truck, but, in the video, it's downslope. So it was like, then the speedometer kind of bounced a little. So I might have been going even like 23 or something miles an hour in the 25 or whatever. But in reference to one of the trucks that they had over there, the C1 trucking company, one of the trucks that I've driven was a truck that Guy had. His name was Guy, an older guy, white hair, gray hair guy. And I'm not sure if that was the truck that Joe brought over, but that truck, the odometer is like 8 miles an hour slower. You hear how they're choking me? You see, you can tell the difference in the voice when I'm talking, and then they started burning my throat, and see, they're about to make me cough too. There's a satellite. You can't even see it do it. That's why it's called a biological weapon. And when I was at the C1 trucking company, or C1 trucking school, they were burning my face and teeth the whole time. Every second I was there. And didn't receive any compensation of any kind. And the government man was trying to call me a liar or something. But anyways, this is very important information in reference to the violations. They choked me again. They locked onto the throat. It's sex crimes, too, against the government. And sexual mutilation crimes. Them holding me hostage, damaging my face and teeth, trying to call me trash while they were trying to steal my looks, and they were trying to copy my looks, these government people was. And these people was trying to steal my sperm. These people was mutilating my face and teeth and stealing my sperm because they wanted to have beautiful children, is what they said, or something like that. Now, that's what they were trying to do, trying to copy my identity. These people trying to run me into the ground, slandering my intellect, slandering my family history, slandering my education. And they were trying to steal my mother and father's estates. These government people need to get prosecuted. All those children are illegitimate. Every single child is always illegitimate, no matter what. And I wouldn't breed with certain races or religions or certain types of people either. My mother and father had guidelines on what kind of girls I could date. So just in case anybody was trying to make up shit, if they know what ethnicity or what nationality these people are that stole sperm, there's guidelines that my mother and father had in reference to girls I'm allowed to date and girls that I'm not allowed to date. If I was to get married to a girl, they have to be a certain race, a certain religion, and they can't have certain political views. If a girl has a certain type of political view, then, that conflicts with the documents of my parents, I couldn't date them. I couldn't be in a relationship with somebody like that. So there's a lot of information, and, in reference to Hello Duke Farms and Hello News Networks and media companies and courts. I have not received any monies. And that government man had shot up my vehicle And you've probably seen it from the Treasury satellite, or you've probably seen it from the Supreme Court satellite, and I have not received any compensation of any kind at all. And there are specific documents that you were supposed to deliver a certain amount of money to me so I could move or travel to another city and state, and I've not received nothing yet. So it's even larger lawsuits, as you would know, based on the facts and guidelines of the documents of the Supreme Court and the Treasury, that in reference to delaying me from receiving monies, it's more endangerment. And you would know that because intellectually that's a fact of knowledge that you would have on record, and you would have comprehension of that. And attorneys could tell you that, especially in reference to the deeds department and the history of media companies and the companies of which I am the owner of, my mother and father's estates and my grandparents' estates. So there's a lot of information, and it's illegal for the government to be trying to cover up my identity as their sneak attack, or them violating my protection status by trying to call me somebody else's child, or trying to belittle my ethnicity or race, which of course I have a status in reference to who my parents are, that in reference to government or any person trying to hurt me, there has to be court cases and arrests of people that have tried to abuse me, and people that have tried to murder me, and people that are blocking me from my mother and father's mansions, of which I got kidnapped from. And we need the media to publicize the information of the dates of when these people had kidnapped me in the past and when they had held me hostage. And there's probably going to be a TV movie or some type of movie documentary of something. So if anybody's wondering, I haven't received any information, and that's the point. And hello, National Geographic magazine. How you guys doing? Somebody said hello. Or any of the other publishing companies that say hello. And hello, Wall Street. And media companies. I haven't received anything. If anybody sent anything in the postal mail, and that satellite man's burning my teeth. They're hitting me in the teeth right here, right now. And it's 6:40 p.m., 9/27/2022. You can't even see that, can you? And they're burning my arm. They're zapping my arm. I don't think you can see that. And they bent my arm there with a satellite. On this side. But, you know, in reference to workman's comp, you know, some people will say I was supposed to have gotten workman's comp from every job I worked at. But, you know, I haven't gotten it from where I work at now. But these satellite men, they just jolted me real hard in the left arm. So, you know, there's a man that just sits there and spies on me and tracks me all the time, burning me and hurting me all the time with satellites. And I have a life to live. I have lots of things to do. And you don't have a right holding me hostage for your fun and games, or your stupidity, or your jealousy, or your 7 deadly sins, or fatal attraction, sicko man. And how many times do they charge these satellite controllers and government people with fatal attraction? How many times do they charge these people with financial crimes and fatal attraction crimes? How many times we get information documented on a website and public information? Lots of things of importance. But hello, Fortune magazine and the New Yorker and other magazines and newspapers and websites. How you guys doing? Somebody needs to advertise information about who I am and who my parents are. And, you know, the media and people want to know. People need to be updated on the situation. But there is a timeline since the government knew that one of their government agents had shot at me. The Treasury knows how many times these people have attacked me, how many times they've tried to fight me, or they tried to pick fights with me, how many times they've been abusing me. They've been doing this satellite shit every single day since they kidnapped me from California. You know, so, you know, in reference to the guidelines of things and lawsuit monies and benefits that I was supposed to have received, I haven't received anything yet. Now, why is that? You need information. Wrote protocol of my identities in the media 24 hours a day. Never signed, never gave, never sold, never, not ever going to, not never, wouldn't do it anyways, not never. You just don't understand, these companies have been in my family history for hundreds of years. Plus. And these people are trying to steal everything. And hello, music industry and, rock and roll, R&B, hip-hop, classical rock, past, present, and future, music industries. How y'all doing? Lots of things of importance.